the Upco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson. Barry Trammell joins us on the phone. He's in transport right now between cities and the NBA playoffs between here and Houston. Barry, let's get to our We Pick 'em this week. We've got all NBA series and games to talk about. Let's start with the Thunder and Rockets in Game 6. Who do you have winning this pivotal game in this series?
Well, I'm taking the Rockets. I haven't seen anything out of the Thunder in the last, 7 quarters that gives me much confidence that this team can get it right. So they're not matching up well with the Rockets. Their offense is still pretty stagnant. So I like Houston in Game 6.
Yeah, I got to go with Houston too, Barry. I'm the same as you. Just nothing right now that makes me believe the Thunder's got the answers for the Rockets. It seems like there are things that they can exploit and things that they can use to their advantage. You know, the Rockets going small, you'd think the Thunder would figure out a way to use its big men, its size to exploit that on the offensive end. They're not. Defensively, they're not able to adjust and do things against the Rockets that they need to stop their transition, to stop their drives, to stop their three-point shooting. You know, we're seeing the Rockets being able to do it all. Maybe the Rockets have an off night shooting because they were really hot in Game 5. Maybe that slows them down, but the Thunder doesn't seem to be doing much right now to adjust. I'm going with the Rockets in Game 6. Hey, bonus question, Barry, who wins the series?
I will take the Thunder in Game 7. The home team generally wins in 7.
I'm going to pick them too, but I tell you what, depending on how Game 6 goes, check back with me, because if the momentum continues to go as much as it is against the Thunder, I might pick the Rockets to even win Game 7 in Oklahoma City. All right, what about this series, Barry, between the Grizzlies and the Clippers? Memphis leads 3-2, and it's going back to Memphis for Game 6. Who wins this series?
I think Memphis closes it out Friday night. The Grizzlies have just got all the momentum. They've been playing better and better as the series goes on. The Clippers have Blake Griffin hurt. They haven't been playing as well. They got to go to Memphis. I like everything about the Grizzlies.
Yep, I'm going with the Grizzlies in this one as well. I really thought the Clippers would be able to win this series in 7 games, but Memphis has continued to just snowball in their efforts. I mean, they just, as Barry said, continue to look better and better. In Memphis, I just don't see them losing Game 6, and I think with Blake Griffin being a little bit up in the air about how much he's going to play with an ankle injury, I really like Memphis to close it out, which that would be the series that would feed into the Oklahoma City-Houston series. If the Thunder can survive, I think Memphis is a better matchup. No Chris Paul to worry about, but they got to take care of business against the Rockets first. All right, what about this series, Barry? The Warriors and the Nuggets. Golden State leads right now 3-2, going to Golden State for Game 6. Who you got winning this one?
I want to take the Warriors. I thought even in defeat in Game 5, there were some encouraging signs for Golden State. They were way down out of the game. They climbed back and make it a close one at the finish. So I don't think Denver will keep the momentum going that they had at home. I think that Oakland crowd will be rowdy and ready to cheer on every Stephen Curry three-pointer. I think the Warriors close it out on Thursday night.
I picked the Nuggets before the series started, but now I got to go Golden State. I just think things are stacking up for them to win this series, having this potential closeout game at home. That arena, folks, if you don't know, is one of the rowdiest in the NBA. For a lot of years, they didn't really have a team worth cheering for, and they were still very, very into their team. But now they've got a team that is playoff caliber, is going to be capable of going and winning not only this series, but series moving forward. So I think they're going to go crazy. I think they're going to provide some great spark to a team that may not need any. Golden State might have been able to handle things without a great home crowd, but that's only going to help. I think they close it out as well and win that series. Barry, what about this series? The Knicks and the Celtics. Knicks took a big 3-0 lead. Celtics have got it back to 3-2 as it goes to Boston. Who wins this series?
I'm going to take the Knicks. I mean, I'd love to see Boston knock off the Knickerbockers. But I think we saw Game 5. I think we might have seen the last stand, Boston's last stand. I mean, these are guys that are playing on fumes, a bunch of old codgers, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Jason Terry. These are guys that are just playing with a lot of pride, and pride only gets you so far. Now they got the big win at Madison Square Garden, but I think they might be due for a letdown at home.
Well, I've got the Knicks winning this one as well. I think it could potentially go 7 games. I think there's a possibility the Celtics go home and win in Boston and force that 7th game. But I have a hard time believing the Knicks, if they have to go 7, don't go home and take care of business. I think they're the better team. I think they've got deeper talent, should be able to handle things. But this one's gotten interesting, Barry, just like Oklahoma City, Houston, with that team that was up 3-0 now facing 3-2. So if it goes to a 7th game, pressure on the Knicks to be able to not be that first team to fall after leading 3-0. Lastly, Barry, let's talk about the Nets and the Bulls. Bulls lead 3-2 in this series as they go home to Chicago. Who wins this one?
I like Chicago. I picked Chicago when the series started. I just like their toughness, their defense, their coach, their resiliency, all the things that the Nets aren't. So, now if Kirk Heinrich can't go, then that's going to make it a little more difficult. If they have to go down to their 13-point guard and Nate Robinson, he'll score, but he'll give up a ton. But if Heinrich can go, I think Chicago wins it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago. Last week we talked about this series, sort of updated our picks, and I was sticking with the Nets but said I was a little uncertain. Now I'm not uncertain anymore. My pick has turned. Seems like the Bulls are going to win this thing. And Barry, it's been crazy to see some former Thunder guys playing such a huge role in this series. You mentioned Nate Robinson before, but Nazr Mohammed's had important minutes as well. Daquan Cook's also on the bench. Just wild to see how much they've contributed, especially Nate Robinson, Barry. Unbelievable how much he's been involved in this series. I think the Bulls win and move on to that 2nd round. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.